Your grill has poor temperature control. Grills have a heating element under the food, which is stupid. As opposed to the way that this guy cooks, which is with a fucking flamethrower from above, I guess. Like, how is this guy? Does he only bake shit? Like, I don't understand. Does he only use an oven to cook shit? What a psycho. Sorry, I only broil my burgers, dude. Freak. Actual freak, dude. Or God help you if you put sugary barbecue sauce on the meat, it's just going to drip into the fire and burn. So what? So what? So what if it burns? Unless you're cooking using a truly traditional method, most Americans have moved past cooking on open flames. Either you cook on top of a surface that keeps liquid from falling into the heating element, like a pan or a griddle, or you cook with an open heating element that is above the food, like a broiler. Oh my God, he literally does just broil. A broiler makes sense. It provides the same sort of open flame cooking you get with a grill, but it doesn't make a huge mess because gravity carries the drippings away from the fire. The superior tool is already in your own home. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. Support this man. Jail this man. You secretly agree with me about grilling. People often accuse me of being a contrarian. Almost always these people are wrong. I hold the majoritarian position, such as mayonnaise is good, or that Joe Biden is a good politician who was likely to win the 2020 Democratic nomination. And they are the contrarian ones, clinging on to an unpopular view that they nonetheless insist is correct. Look at drill tweet, dude. I'm not owned. I'm not owned. I insist as people yell at me over and over again. You guys actually agree with me. Sorry. Sometimes you have to take. Sometimes you just have to fucking go there, okay? Sometimes you have to go there. What do you think Drill looks like? I know what Drill looks like. I've met him. I'll never tell. It was abolish ICE until someone shit on July 4th. No, it's not even about July 4th. It's about grilling, dude. Grilling is fucking awesome. It is. It's awesome. Grilling is about eating like fucking 4 hot dogs the moment it's like plopped onto that styrofoam. The moment that is like plopped onto that fucking styrofoam plate before anybody else can get to it. Okay? That's what grilling is about. There's also the experience. It's more so an experience. And you're doing it outside. Oh God, it's so annoying. Like, I can't believe I have to even defend this.
My pee during an earthquake, and it felt like Mother Earth was
cooking indoors, especially that amount of meat, is going to be kind of fucking annoying. The entire house is going to smell. Like, there are hella reasons. Also, you're advocating for broiling the meat, which is like, ugh. You're like, what the fuck? You know? Yikes. This anti-grill propaganda that's happening in Biden's America, thoughts? I mean, dude, we're pushing back against it. Yes, of course I've seen that there is no such thing about coincidence TikTok. As a matter of fact, I'll go so far as to say, wait, that's not what I was looking for. What the fuck? Oh, this. I'll go so far as to say that this shit popped off when this community saw it. I swear to God. Well, no, not really. We saw it when there was a viral tweet, I think. But like, we did an extensive background check on this dude. And then now he's everywhere. Like, it reached peak volatility or peak virality.
Means you are energetically. There is no such thing as a coincidence.
This is what started me on the witch talk thing. We watched TikTok because of this guy.
The fact that you're watching this video means you are energetically aligned with me and this message. Your thoughts create your reality. But you already knew that, yet you still live a life that you dread.
Excuse me.
That is because when you visualize your dream life, you unconsciously believe that it is unreal.
I love that they put that in the background. It just makes it so much funnier.
I am such a boomer, seriously, almost 40 and
I'm glad that Osita is back. My man came back with fire. This guy tweeted that Talenti was bad ice cream masquerading as good ice cream, and I responded that he was a bad pundit masquerading as a good pundit, and he blocked me. Talenti is fucking good, dude. God damn, this dude. I now remember why the more I see his takes, the more I recognize that, like, I think I hate followed him like a while ago because he's only had bad takes. What? Exxon's lobbyists were caught on tape basically bragging about pushing climate denial, undermining Biden's climate policy. This issue is pretty fucking depraved. Should be a bombshell, but people barely raise an eyebrow anymore. I mean, it just came out.
European capital, unearthed, Greenpeace UK's investigations unit is making the final preparations, wiring up with covert recording devices.
This is like, okay, I'm done fucking looking at this dude. It's terrible. And also terrible. A lot of terrible stuff there.
On K Street, Washington, D.C., home of America's most powerful lobbyists, Keith McCoy, a key representative of the biggest oil company in America, is waiting for the call. The timing's vital. What may be America's greatest chance to combat the climate crisis is going through Congress right now. The video connection is set up. It's time to go to work.
Hi, good to see you.
How are you?
Moments later, Mr. McCoy will become one of the first ever executives to claim that
Your street's called K. What the fuck, America? K Street is where the lobbying firms are.
Has aggressively fought climate science using front organizations to maximize shareholder profit.
In Washington,
Did
D.C.
we aggressively fight against some of the science? Yes. Did we join some of these shadow groups to work against some of the early efforts? Yes, that's true. But there's nothing illegal about that. You know, we were looking out for our investments. We were looking out for our shareholders.
In response, Exxon said, "We've supported climate science for decades," and accused Greenpeace of waging a multi-decade campaign against them and the industry. Keith McCoy.
I love when motherfuckers are like, bro, it's not illegal. Well, I mean, part of the reason why it's literally not illegal is because of all of your actions. Okay? You have a completely separate wing that this guy probably even worked at. I mean, he is. He's the federal liaison. So this guy, unironically, is the same guy that is making sure that it's not illegal.
Thinks he's being headhunted for a new job. In fact, of course, he's being covertly filmed. So tonight, a man boasting at a job interview or a never-seen-before look at how big oil tries to manipulate big power, or both? First, the targets. Congressmen are fish. Exxon is the fisherman.
When you have an opportunity to talk to a member of Congress, you know, I liken it to fishing, right? You have bait, you throw that bait out, you know, it's all these opportunities that you use, and to use the fishing analogy again, just to kind of reel them in, because they're a captive audience. They know they need you and I need them.
Senators pressed to do Exxon's bidding behind closed doors.
You want to be able to go to the chief. And so the chief knows you, that you can go to the chief and say, look, we've got this issue. We need Congressman so-and-so to be able to either introduce this bill. We need him to make a floor statement. We need him to send a letter. You name it. We've asked for everything.
Fun fact, lobbying
So who are the
crime even in
fish?
Brazil has filed-
I'm Joe Manchin. I approve this act because
The biggest
This is true. He is the fucking biggest fish.
catch, according to Mr. Coy, it's the conservative Democrat Senator Joe Manchin, who famously shot President Obama's cap-and-trade climate bill.
and I'll take dead aim at the cap and trade bill.
Joe Manchin, I talk to his office every week. He is the kingmaker, and he's not shy about.
He's the kingmaker, dude. Oh, God. America. L. That pathetic fucking loser is a kingmaker in this country, dude.
Men.
He's being regarded as a kingmaker by lobbyists. There is nothing like permanent L. Permanent stain on the Democratic Party, which is already pretty shitty to begin with. Is just terrible overall. Terrible, terrible, terrible stuff overall.
Sort of staking his claim early and completely changing the debate.
Legal declarations show that Senator Manchin has received tens of thousands of dollars from ExxonMobil and its trade associations. Keith McCoy names 10 other senators as crucial to ExxonMobil. Senators Mark Kelly, Chris Coons, Shelley Moore Capito, Kirsten Sinema, John Tester, Maggie Hassan, John Barrasso, Steve Daines, John Cornyn, and Marco Rubio.
I mean, literally the worst of the worst. Clown
All
asses.
bar Kelly and Hassan have taken money from Exxon, totaling
I hope that Maggie Hassan retires at some point, because it is the most annoying fucking thing that, like, every time her stupid fucking name gets brought up, the chat lights up with the opportunity to just spam Azan Pago every single fucking time, dude. You guys do not skip a single beat on that same joke that you have run into the fucking ground.
$117,000. We gave all these senators a chance to respond. None did so. Exxon insists our lobbying efforts are fully compliant with all laws and are publicly disclosed on a quarterly basis. Nonetheless, a degree of secrecy appears to be key. The last thing Exxon seems to want is open accountability, facing Congress in public.
We don't want it to be us to have these conversations, especially in a hearing. It's getting our associations to step in and have those conversations and answer those tough questions and be the for lack of a better term, the whipping boy for some of these members of Congress.
So he says they hide behind trade bodies to avoid public scrutiny on the Hill.
Our CEO was invited to a hearing from a member of Congress who we know is just going to rip him to shreds when he goes there. The main thing that they're looking at is just to get ExxonMobil in front of a congressional hearing so they can rip us apart.
Big oil, big power, big pressure. The route from the K Street lobbyist offices to Capitol Hill is very well trodden. From the street to the Hill, we can now reveal the current ExxonMobil battleground and strategy.
It's big, yes. It's bold, yes. And we can get it done.
Just last week, as America continues to suffer heat waves described as apocalyptic and linked to the current climate crisis, President Biden fought to get Congress to pass his $2 trillion showpiece law, linking jobs and infrastructure to massive spending to combat climate change. On Capitol Hill, though, Exxon was also fighting to strip out spending on climate.
Dude, my favorite type of chatter, backseating my health from like 1,000 miles away, has never seen me in person, and like just making statements like, or asking questions like, Hassan, piece too much, he's diabetic. I just downed an entire liter of fucking water, and I drink diuretics all the time. And guess what? The more I fucking drink caffeinated sodas and the more I drink water, the more I pee.
Forget that, it lobbied. Stick to roads and bridges.
So that's a completely different conversation. When you start to stick to roads and bridges, and instead of a $2 trillion bill, it's an $800 billion bill. If you lower that threshold, you stick to highways and bridges, then a lot of the negative stuff starts to come out. Why would you put in something on emissions reductions on climate change to oil refineries in a highway bill? So, and people say, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So then you get to the germaneness and say that shouldn't be in this bill.
Sure enough, last week Biden's behemoth bill evaporated. A new law may be agreed, but major green initiatives are gone. Coincidence? Or the big oil effect? Nothing illegal, just oiling the wheels of power. Exxon said our discussions on the bill are not accurately portrayed. Our lobbying efforts are related to a tax burden that could disadvantage US businesses.
Plans capture CO2.
Recent academic studies,
Of course, dude. Come on, we're just trying to cut taxes. What the fuck, dude? Shut up.
show what Keith McCoy alleges is the wider Exxon strategy. Say one thing in public, do another in private. For example, it says publicly it supports a carbon tax. Keith McCoy says privately that's just PR.
You know, nobody is going to propose a tax on all Americans.
Happy
And the cynical side of me says, yeah, we kind of know that. But it gives us a talking point that we can say, well, what is ExxonMobil for? Well, we're for a carbon tax.
And why? Because they're confident it'll never happen in America.
No, it's not going to. A carbon tax isn't going to happen. And the bottom line is it's going to take political courage, political will in order to get something done. And that doesn't exist in politics. It just...
Dude, that's so true, though. That's the absolute brutal, honest truth, which is that because of motherfuckers like him, who also live on the same planet, which is kind of funny. Like, dude, it's not like you live in Mars, motherfucker. You live here too. Wait, is that why that's his Zoom background? Maybe he does live in Mars. Maybe the rich are just like living on a different planet and I just didn't even know about it. I can't be the only one who thinks that these like commercial space travel, the advances being made in commercial space travel is exclusively so the rich can run away from us like Elysium. I'm not alone in this, right? When the planet becomes like uninhabitable. He does look like Dorner a little bit.
Doesn't.
Exxon told us for more than a decade it's supported an economy-wide price on CO2 emissions.
We're working on ways to provide energy.
You wouldn't get on that ship, right? You mean I couldn't get on that ship? Of course, if you're 14 years old, the amount of wealth that I've accumulated seems like, you know, like, what's the sound? Like one of the richest guys on the planet? Like top 10? Maybe top 20, right? Yeah, I know.
Energy while addressing the risks of climate change.
Take electric cars. It's all about doubt and delay.
You're not going to be able to just switch to battery-operated vehicles or wind for your electricity. And just having that conversation around why that's not possible in the next 10 years is critically important to the work that we do.
But science is screaming at us that we do not have 10 years. Delay, doubt, deflect, the classic hallmarks of modern-day climate crisis denial. And ExxonMobil's alleged involvement in that is thus revealed from the inside tonight, straight from the horse's mouth.
You're still firmly in the top 1% in America? Yes, of course. Being in the top 1% in America, a country with 330 million citizens, does not mean I'm getting on a spaceship that's going to hold what?
Hasanabi.
Let's say there are spaceships that are going to house every wealthy person on the planet. How many spaceships do you think they would need? How many people would be able to live in the spaceships? 2/3 of Americans are in the top 10 wealthiest of the world. I mean, yeah, we're not even talking about that. Don't get mad as on you're rich as fuck. It's okay. No, I'm wealthy for sure. But it's kind of funny that like there are unironic Twitch chatters in here who are like, dude, it's not, I don't hide my sub count. Like it's literally up on the top right corner for you to see. Okay. But people who think that I'm going to be able to get on a fucking billionaire spaceship is crazy. Because I think that they just, what do you call it? I think that they unironically think like you're being poor just really sucks. Of course, going to trigger folks. Yeah, I know. I know. If they somehow made spaceships to house 1,000 people, I still don't think he would make it. No fucking shot, dude. No shot. No fucking shot. That's what I'm laughing at. Because, like, Twitch watchers think that, like, the entire world is inside of Twitch. So they,
14 months charge.
so they think, like, oh, yeah, dude, he's just, like,
brothers, sisters,
guy has, like, one of the top 10 most
your
subscribed
butts for
channels
fully
on Twitch.
automated luxury gay space
So, you know,
communism.
he's probably flying out on a spaceship to space. You know? One percent of 330 million Americans is still 3.3 million people in the 1%. No shot you're getting a ride. I know. Motherfucker, I don't think Ninja's getting a ride. I don't think Shroud is getting a ride on that spaceship, okay? And these dudes are like making $30 million in like deals and shit. Hollywood celebrities, the majority of Hollywood celebrities and athletes are not getting on that spaceship. More realistically, you'd live in areas not affected by the societal collapse and mass migration coming, like the rich. That is, yes, that is more realistic. $2,700 billionaires, and not all of them are getting on. I mean, I'm sure that they would have enough spaceships for 2,700 people. Rich Twitch streamers will be streaming to the few left alive from the hype bunker. I would do that. That's how I would ring the end of the world with that for sure. Like it's like COVID. Like we're all experiencing the shittiness together. I would just sit around and fucking make content from a bunker. And then one day die. This is a next level Doomer stunlock. I mean, it's what I enjoy doing. It's what I like doing. Gaming in space would suck though. I heard the Milky Way servers are the worst lag in the universe. Good one. Someone's got to clean the toilets and serve the drinks. I'm on that fucking ship too. I mean, I've talked about this before, like in the end of the world, because like we've talked about like rich billionaire bunkers, like end of the world bunkers and shit. And I've talked about it before where it's like you need cops and you need slaves, right? Because you need slaves, and then you need the slaves to not rise up and murder the billionaires. And so you need cops to stop the slaves from rising up and murdering all the billionaires in the bunker. But even then, I just feel like perhaps it would be easier to instill class solidarity in such close quarters, you know? Kind of like Snowpiercer, yes.
As prey.
If you could afford it, would you go on the spaceship, though? I don't know. If I had enough money to be able to go on the spaceship, the billionaire spaceship, what use
Happy
is
to be
surviving
here
at
with my
that point
favorite
when
columnist.
everything you know and
Almost
love
1 year,
is
let's go.
dying? Like, my mom is no longer with me. My brother is no longer with me. Like, my fucking friends are no longer with me. What the fuck am I going to
Lucky
do?
13.
Hang out with Elon Musk? That sucks. That's the other part of it. Like, imagine the continuation of humanity is just a bunch of fucking chodes like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. No, the Dua Lipa's not making it on, dude. The celebrities are not making it onto that fucking ship. They're not rich enough. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, the people that are at that level of power, they suck, dude. There's no Ariana Grande on that spaceship. There's no Dua Lipa on that spaceship. There's no one who's like unique or fun, because they have literally made their entire lives into making an endless amount of money. Those people fucking suck.
Hanging out with Elon getting high in space would suck. The smell never fades in space.
The rich will bring the hot people though, right? Well, that's the problem. It's like if you're bringing the hot people, okay? If you're bringing the hot people onto the spaceship, then like you have to be bringing like, again, servants as well, right?
It's my radicalization birthday. Thanks for all the laughs and love.
I just don't understand how that would work. I literally don't understand. I guess automation would have to come to a point where like robots can take care of all the menial tasks. Because there's no shot rich people are bringing poor people up there with them, because the poor people just fucking murder them and take over. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, literally, why the fuck wouldn't you do that? This is turning into the train movie in the cold? Yeah, Snowpiercer.
Hello, Hassan.
That's the theory of how proletariat create class consciousness by living in close quarters and suffering and thriving together. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it is way, way, way too fucking volatile of an environment. It's just ripe for radicalization, that environment is. Like, part of the reason why it's very difficult to instill class consciousness in the working class and all around the world is that there are too many divisions. There are too many divisions that operate specifically to divide and conquer the working class. When you have national boundaries, or when you have racial boundaries, when you have all of these other distinctions that are routinely weaponized against the working class to divide the working class, it makes it very difficult to build a broad coalition, because you're too busy fighting on those other terms. But when you're black, brown, white, doesn't fucking matter. You're just like a servant in a spaceship. There's okay, wait, hold on. Let me stop this for a second. There's a theory that part of the reason why building class consciousness in the modern era is a lot more difficult than the Industrial Revolution, and that is because due to like hyper-specific parts of working class, due to division of labor on overdrive, due to the fact that there isn't like a factory floor anymore, it is very difficult to build solidarity both in the workplace and then overall, all around and nationwide. Okay, thanks. Because nobody works on a fucking factory floor anymore. If we still did that, it would be easier to build working class solidarity. You feel me?
I know
Internet
how
saved me
Britney is
almost after
controlled by
destroying me.
her
You like this, a dude
guardians.
psychologically
She does not
conditioned
have a
people to do an
smartphone
armed
and thus
robbery?
does not have immediate internet access at all times like everyone else. Thanks for the content, but I just realized this and felt it was important for some reason.
Internet makes facts opinions. Back in the day, you got paid good for a work day. Yeah, I wonder why you got paid good for a work day back in the day.
Appreciate your content.
So based that Amazon is hiring for so many people in factories? Yeah, except they literally have a 3-year turnover specifically to stop people from unionizing. Like, friend of the show, Alex Press, has an entire podcast dedicated to covering Amazon factory conditions all around the world. And this is precisely what they do. Okay? Their warehouse workers churn out on a crazy rate, specifically, so it's harder to unionize. They have an employee turnover rate of 150%. So you're not spending enough time working side by side with your fellow workers to develop camaraderie and to recognize your situation and then take action against it by trying to create a more democratic process in the workplace. The last Monsters video was kind of boring, and it made me scared that like the rest of these are going to be boring as well. Like the pacing is going to be off. You know what I mean? I wonder if there's like a notable one that we could watch.
Hasanabi.
Do the controversy of Ryan's World. It's fucked up, honestly. I did sort by most viewed. Grant Amato is fucked up. Sounds familiar. I don't know why.
Grant Amato.
Dude, I don't know why everyone's saying sort by most popular. Yes, I already did that. You're telling me something I've done already, okay? Okay, this one looks good.
Luca Magnata.
You said you were really tired then? I think it should be easy to get through now. No,
Amato had been struggling to get his life back on track after a pretty rough year.
This is like Stephen Miller on crack, or rather, Stephen Miller on more crack than he actually is on.
When his family members began working to cut him off from the love of his life, he chose to do whatever it took to spend more time with her. This is Monsters.
Hey, yo.
Grant Amato was one of 3 sons of Chad and Margaret Amato. When the parents met, Margaret already had a 3-year-old son named Jason, and after the couple married, Chad adopted Jason and he officially became an Amato. Jason said during his testimony that he didn't remember a life without Chad being his father. He said that he was a very stern, very particular person. Everything was in its place, straight and tucked in. If he was going to have a serious discussion with someone, he would make a list in one color, then make notes with another color while talking to the person. Jason says that his father could get overly angry, but he had never seen him be physically abusive to anyone in the house. Chad was a pharmacist who worked in a conventional pharmacy role before he started working for a call center where people, such as doctors or other pharmacists, would call in to get pharmacy instructions. Chad was described as being very focused on the future and what he worked for, and he was stressed about the cost of a second home they owned in Tennessee. Chad had purchased a house with at least 4 acres in the mountains, about an hour away from Gatlinburg, to move to when he and Margaret retired. Apparently, they were having a problem with feral hogs destroying the property, and Chad was spending a lot more time and money maintaining the house than he wanted to. Margaret was the supervisor for a transcription company. She had started off...
The mic on? Hello, test 1, 2, 3, test 1,
They got
2, 3.
feral hogs, brother. Let me tell you something. This is precisely how every bad story starts, okay? That's why you need a fucking... Wait, hold on. I need to play the video, dude. Oh. Wait, where the fuck is the Austin Ox YouTube channel? No, not this. I meant M60 with fucking Fortunate Son playing in the background as I fucking fly in. That's how you take care of them. That's how you take care of them feral hogs, brother. Read Buddha's message. What is it? What did he say? Let's play Tarkov or just get on RP an hour. I'll give you 5K. Dude, I don't care. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's good, dude? Buddha, you got roasted by Candyland. You don't even know it, dude, on my roast because they thought you were going to come on. Okay. Hell yeah, brother. Yeet, yeet. Get a goddamn bazooka for these fucking hogs, brother. My favorite part's coming up. It ain't me. It ain't me. I'm no Senator Sawyer. Okay. I love the part where I'm a baby. It's just my favorite part of that video. It's so good. It's like with the little head bob. It ain't me. Look, it ain't me. Look at this, dude. I'm a little baby, dude. I don't know why. I think it's the bangs, maybe. I don't know what it is. It's like, it ain't me. I'm no Senator Sawyer. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, that's how you deal with feral hogs, brother. You fucking kidding me? It's how you deal with feral hogs, brother. 30 to 50 feral hogs. You gotta fucking gun them down, brother. You gotta gun them down, brother.
As a medical transcriptionist and worked her way up the ladder until she got to management. She worked from home in her own small office on the main floor of the house. A few years after getting married, Chad and Margaret had a son together, Cody, and then had Grant a few years later. Jason said that in 1989, his parents bought a piece of land off Fort Christmas Road in Chulota, Florida, and Chad designed and built their family home. Each boy got their own bedroom, and they had a game room and almost 3 acres for the boys to play on. For Margaret, there was a nearby stable that she used to board a former racehorse that she would eventually rescue named Lady. In around 2009, a hungry mare would wander into their property and eventually she was able to save the horse and begin rehabilitating it. The owner of the stable said that Margaret worked tirelessly to get Lady back into riding condition. Even after Lady died, Margaret would regularly ride her bike down to the stable to visit with friends and brush the horses. Grant described how he and Cody became good friends.
Me and Cody had the quintessential rough, like, fighting each other and whatnot when we were younger.
The love-hate,
right.
Typical siblings.
But then I would say, like, my junior year of high school, we were all on the weightlifting team together. That's where I got to know a lot of, like, his guy friends. And, you know, we stopped, like, arguing at that point. And then we all, you know, we decided to go to nursing school together. We decided to go to the nurse anesthesia school together. I mean, we did everything together. I mean,
Who was the better student?
He was the better student in everything up through nursing school, and then I was actually the better student in nurse anesthesia school. But there was like again, kind of like with
Are you guys, sorry,
No.
Are you guys at the same time in the same classes?
Yeah.
So you're the
But
exact same.
not for nursing school, not for nursing
No,
school.
I mean for the anesthesiology.
Yeah, we sat right next to each other.
So you're in there doing things together, so you got somebody to study with.
Yeah.
Somebody to bounce things off of and work with.
Yeah, and we would do that all the time. We were burning the midnight oil.
But you were better at it.
Yeah, and that was the one time that he actually admitted that I was didactically more competent than him in that field. And then
Who's better in weightlifting?
he was.
Oh, okay.
He broke a number of school records. I think he was like the 129 weight class. I was the 119 weight class. But he was definitely stronger in high school. And then but yeah, we were close. I mean like bonded, you know.
So a normal brotherly relationship up until high school where they became extremely close. Jason was a few years older and was out of the house by the time Grant and Cody were finishing high school. The brothers had plans to both become nurses and then go to nurse anesthetist school together. After that, they were going to buy matching BMWs and then their parents' house when they retired and moved to their retirement home in Tennessee. The plan started out okay, and when Grant graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing in 2011, the brothers enrolled in the same nursing anesthetist school. They literally sat next to each other in class. Even though Grant claims that he was the better student during this time, he still managed to fail out of the program. Cody would go on to complete the program and land a job as a nurse anesthetist at a local hospital, making a very decent amount of money. Grant managed to find a job as a nurse at a hospital and worked there for about 5 years, but was eventually accused of stealing medication. In June of 2018, they fired him and pressed charges, but after Cody paid $8,000 to hire a lawyer for his brother, the charges were dropped. According to Grant, he said that the fact that he now had an arrest on his record made him not able to get a job, and he spent most of his time in his room playing video games, trying to become a famous Twitch streamer. You know, kind of like a YouTuber, just not as cool. This solitary time playing video games is also when Grant discovered the wide, wonderful world of cam girls. He said in an interview that the first time he talked to a cam girl, the first one was a woman named Sylvie who operated out of Bulgaria. He immediately fell in love with her.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, fuck
Hassan,
this.
you are good,
Okay, how about that? No, I don't think Twitch streamers are less cool than YouTube. Do you understand? I don't. Okay, I think we're both equally fucking nerdy. No, you don't need to rewind 30 seconds. I'm watching it while I'm talking to my brother. Okay? This dude is literally like, this is like what happens if Twitch streamers go wrong. Like, my man fell in love with a e-girl, and it's got it all. What the fuck? I don't appreciate that this guy is saying... Well, of course he's saying that. He's a fucking YouTuber. That's why he's saying it, okay?
with her and began believing that they had a special relationship.
Wait, JCS did a Gran Amato video too? Praise Rick the Crypto Nerds. A statement from FaZe Clan. We made a decision to remove K from FaZe Clan and have suspended Jardis, Nikan, Tico until further notice. FaZe Clan has absolutely no involvement with our members' activity in the cryptocurrency space, and we strongly condemn their recent behavior. The trust and respect for our fan has been and will always be our number one priority. Wait, what the fuck? Bunch of L nerds, dude. Bunch of fucking crypto L nerds, dude. Hey, let's go. We're fucking dub streamers, bro. We're fucking dub streamers, baby. We don't do none of that crypto nerd shit, dude. Woo! I'm fucking pogging my face off, dude. Take an L, crypto nerds. Fucking debate lords, dude. Can't wait for the face coin to come out.
I mean, outside of the fact that he was literally paying to talk to her. How much was he paying, you might ask? Well, he's gonna tell you.
How much do you think you spent on this? Because it seems kind of pricey.
Yeah.
90 tokens and $5,000 for how many tokens?
No, it's $600 for 5,000.
For 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much do you think you spent on this?
Probably close to like $200,000, I'd say.
$200,000?
Yeah.
And where'd the money come from?
Money came from me, my brother, and then my dad.
Did they know where the money was going to?
They didn't know that it was going to a cam model.
What did you
I
tell
was
them?
saying that it was going towards my Twitch streaming, like advertising, like putting my name out there and that type of thing.
$200,000 on a cam girl in 6 months, and he thinks that she's legitimately interested in him. It's $600 for 5,000 tokens, and the cam girl takes 90 tokens a minute. Grant said that he was talking to Sylvie for about 4 hours a day. 4 hours of time would cost him 21,600 tokens, which means he would need 4.3 blocks of 5,000 tokens. That would be over $2,500 a day. That works out to be more than $77,000 a month. Clearly he wasn't talking to this woman every day because it would only take him 2.5 months to rack up 200 grand in debt at that rate. He said that the money came from himself, his dad, and his brother. He was telling them that he was buying advertising for his new Twitch streaming business, but he was really spending it all on a cam girl. On top of the money it even took to talk to Sylvie, he was leading her to believe that he was rich and successful. In the world he lived in while talking to Sylvie, he already drove that BMW that he had dreamed of with his brother years earlier. In order to keep up appearances, he would send her lingerie and sex toys to use during her performances. After the credit cards that Grant stole from both his father and Cody got maxed out, he would just lie about promoting his Twitch stream and steal more credit cards. Unfortunately, Grant's family members did everything they could to keep the young man out of trouble, but all that did was enable him to continue his behavior. Eventually, Chad and Cody looked into the charges and figured out that Grant was spending all of their money on a cam girl. They started restricting Grant in ways they thought would keep him from talking to Sylvie, but he would always find ways to talk to her. Grant and Cody were also big fans of anime and had planned a trip to Japan with another friend named Jericho Fine. They went on their 10-day trip at the beginning of December of 2018, and since Grant didn't have a job at the time, Cody paid for all of his expenses. The trio went to Tokyo and Kyoto and had a great time. It wasn't until the day they were meant to leave when a problem arose.
Cody got into the shower. Grant told me that he was going to go down to the lobby and find something to eat. So I didn't think anything of it. And Cody got out of the shower and asked me where Grant was. And I said he went down to the lobby to get something to eat. And Cody immediately checked the closet for his duffel bag and then said, "Where's Grant's duffel bag?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I didn't notice him take anything." And so Cody left me at the hotel for more than 2 hours. I was just kind of sitting in the lobby while he went to find Grant, and he was messaging me on WhatsApp, trying to keep me posted. And he found him at a pachinko, like a gambling type building, and I guess he was on his tablet using the Wi-Fi.
At first I thought it was weird that Cody would immediately check for Grant's duffel bag, but Jericho explained during his testimony that Cody seemed to have Grant on a tight leash during the trip. He said that Cody would...
Bro, this dude is literally every fucking... He's like every internet Twitch meme, dude.
Dicks.
Like, I guess this is what happens when you take your fucking simping to the next level, to the maximum level. This... If I was on Twitch before this dude, like, he would be in my chat as a fucking gray name, talking about how, like, hot tub streams should not exist, while simultaneously spending all of their fucking money on the hot tub streams, like, taking hundreds of thousands of dollars on their fucking family. Also, god damn, dude, imagine coming from a family where they could just, like, drop 200K on you. What the fuck, dude? Jesus, Lord mercy.
Would never let Grant get too far away and would yell at him, "Get back over here." This seemed to be part of the process of trying to keep Grant from spending more money on cam girls, something that he was caught doing the day they left Japan. It wasn't until later that Jericho discovered how Grant had paid for his time with Sylvie that day in Japan.
I was out to dinner, and I went to pay for the dinner with the Discover card, and it had been frozen. So I contacted my father, since it's like a family account, and he sent me a screenshot of like three charges on the Discover. One went through, and then the other two were denied, but they were for my free cam tokens.
Grant had stolen his friend's credit card number in order to buy tokens to talk to Sylvie before sneaking off to a place with Wi-Fi. This dude wasn't just being selfish to talk to a girl, he had a serious addiction. When the boys came back from Japan, Chad began pressuring Grant even harder about getting a job and repaying some of his debts. After an argument with his father, Grant left their house and didn't tell anyone where he was going. Jason said that he ran away during his testimony, which just sounds wrong to say about a 29-year-old adult, but that's essentially what he did. Family members reported him missing and told the police that he was depressed and that they were afraid that he might hurt himself. Margaret said she got a text from Grant saying he was, quote, really tired of everything, end quote, and, quote, just going to handle it his own way, end quote. It turned out that Grant had gone to his Aunt Donna's house and she let him stay there for a few days. It wasn't long before she started seeing charges on her bank account that she didn't make. When she realized that it was Grant who was stealing her money, she wanted to press charges, but Chad and Margaret begged her not to. Cody ended up repaying his aunt the money that Grant had stolen. At this point, Grant had stolen from his father, his brother, one of his best friends, and his aunt, and Chad had to remortgage his house in order to cover $150,000 worth of Grant's debt. Donna said that Chad had told her over the phone, quote, "Yeah, I'm going to have to work a few more years than I thought I'd have to, but it's okay. I'll do it for Grant. I don't want him to go to jail," end quote.
13 months.
All because he was addicted to a cam girl. The family made some calls and found an addiction recovery facility that would take him. On December 23, 2018, Chad, Margaret, Cody, and Jason all went to Donna's house early in the morning and had a sort of intervention for Grant. Cody took charge of the situation and talked to his younger brother about his obsession with Sylvie. He told them that they wanted him to go to a facility and talk to them about it. They just wanted things to be better for him. Grant initially got angry, but eventually gave in and got into the car with his father, mother, and Cody. Jason didn't go with them to drop him off at Cornerstone Recovery Center in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It was the last time Jason would see his father or Cody. Grant was supposed to be in a 60-day program at the recovery center, but he was released after 12 days. According to him, the counselors said that he was just in a little rut and didn't need to be in a full program. It seems as though he minimized his addiction to the cam girl, because if they knew exactly what he had done in order to talk to Sylvie, they would have put him into an addiction program with no hesitation. Cody ended up paying $15,000 for Grant to have a spot in the program, which wasn't utilized. During his interview with police, Grant said that he thinks the facility refunded $3,000 since he didn't stay the full 60 days, but wasn't sure if Cody ever got the refund. Once Grant was back from Cornerstone, Chad had created a list of rules that Grant needed to follow in order to stay in the house.
I guess I would call it like an ultimatum. Some options that were...
Bro, I literally physically cannot comprehend how you get addicted to paying for cam girls. I do not understand how this man had to go to a rehab facility. Like, I guess there is a thing, but I literally don't understand how it's a thing. It doesn't make any sense to me. That, like, cooming is... You can coom to this way. Like it doesn't... It's a very real and serious thing. I don't get it, dude. Because they acknowledge them. I mean, but like... Kink shaming Puggo. Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Yeah, I'm kink shaming, motherfucker. If your kink is literally findom to the degree that you're like destroying your family, yeah, your kink should be shamed. Okay? What the fuck? I just don't understand it. It makes me mad that I don't understand it. Porn is fucking free. Like, do these people not recognize that porn is literally free if you want it? But I guess it's more so like just like feeling like this person knows you and changing the content or something. I don't know. Fuck! Sorry.
Given to Grant to choose between after leaving the facility, and based off of some of his choices, there were specific rules and regulations that my father had laid out for him. And
give some example. I mean, I'm not asking to read the entire document. The jury has it. It's going to go back with them, and they can read it. But give the jury some examples of what are the options given to them.
All right, so the first thing that was covered was living arrangements. You know, does he want to live at home, move out on his own, go to the military? Looks like my father pre-wrote this and then updated it with a different color pen. I'm assuming with discussion with Grant. So there are some markings and highlightations of things that were discussed and chosen. It looks like Grant chose to live at home. He understood that the family would not cover or pay any current remaining future debts, etc. It goes on to say that, you know, some rules are no post-midnight internet use, no more all-nighters online, limited TV, install a new AT&T modem for logging, wireless, and hard traffic use. It says that he terminated his current phone and set him up with a new phone that I guess didn't have data or the ability to go on the internet. Some responsibilities where he had to get a job. He had some debts that he had to take care of. No savings. He owed the family some money. Owed the family an apology. It's very detailed.
Chad felt like he needed to severely restrict Grant's abilities at the home in order to keep him from getting into more financial trouble. He didn't know of any other way of keeping his son from blowing more money on a cam girl. He even contacted Sylvie in Bulgaria.
It states that it informed Grant that they had reached out to this woman to let them know, or to let her know some of the things that Grant had been saying weren't 100% true. And that he wasn't allowed to communicate with her anymore based off of those lies.
Unfortunately, it sounds like his mother wasn't as strict.
One of his rules was that I wasn't allowed to talk to the woman anymore that I had been talking to. But I guess you could say behind the scenes, my mom would let me talk to her through her cell phone using Twitter. And, you know, she would tell me, like, look, you have to keep it just basic, because if you say anything or if you entice anything or do anything like that, it might lead her